Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Holo Project. We have a couple things that we're going to discuss today. Some of them might not be so great, but it is what it is, and you can't do nothing about it now. This one's standing over here yelling at me. I don't know if you can hear that, but you know, that's pretty standard. That's what she does every time I open a video. So, anywho. We'll talk about the not so great here in a minute, but we will talk about something on the upside quick, and I'll show you actually. Look at that. Got the new toolbox. Completely wiped out that white bench that used to be over here, just piled full of crap. Still have a lot of organization to do, but for now, holy cow, what a difference in here. The welding bench can be used as a welding bench, kind of, minus all that crap that needs to get put away down there. And also, you know, as you'll notice, the hood of the Cadillac's back open. Of course, it's still halfway covered up from working on the El Camino. So let's discuss the Cadillac. I believe you guys seen me change the oil in it, and we were going to cut the filter open, and I didn't make it to it in that video, but I did go ahead and cut it open and poured it out, kind of. Here's the cut open filter. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clip right here, and you can see what it looked like when the oil came out of the filter. Enjoy. All right, this is the oil filter out of the Cadillac. I don't know if you can see that very well. How about that? That's better. This is our original one for the break-in. She's got a lot of sparkles. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah. Did you see that? We may have a problem. We have a theory on what happened. And that theory, if you guys have been around with us for a while, you probably remember when we were fighting and chasing a no oil pressure project, when this engine was trying to make its first start. And if you remember those videos, you remember that we pulled the transmission off the back of the block and found that little plug in the oil galley behind the frost plug that was missing. And that fixed our oil pressure problem after we put a new pump in it and everything else. Well, the theory is that we may have damaged the cam bearings, or maybe even the rod bearings or the main bearings or all the bearings. I don't know. But that's an awful lot of glitter. Now, the decision has to be made. What do we do? We've got a lot of money and time in this 390. I don't even really want to make this video, but here we are. So, I don't know. We kind of talked about maybe taking it for one more drive and just seeing what the oil pressure does. But the last time that I drove it, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the video or not. I went to pull back into the shop and the oil pressure basically hit 0. Now, these cars don't make a ton of oil pressure the way it is. I think they're rated at like 35 PSI. That's what the pressure relief is set at. I don't know. I've kind of done some reading. Some guys say that they make, you know, less than 5 or less than 10 at idle when it's warm. Well, we're a lot less than that. When we first got this going, we were seeing over 30. And now on a cold start, we're barely seeing 20. So we're losing oil pressure. And typically that is rod bearings and main bearings. So I don't know. I'd like to make, you know, an announcement that we know what we're gonna do, but we don't. So I guess I was gonna swap this Edelbrock back onto it. I really don't know if it's even worth doing that. But when you pull the dipstick, the oil on the dipstick doesn't look that bad. But when, I mean, you can already see it right there. I guess it does look bad. I haven't pulled it since I changed the oil. This has maybe 3 miles on it. So I don't know what to do. And there's a lot of time and money in this engine. And unfortunately, that plug was left out from the machine shop. And we were given a bag, a Ziploc bag of everything that came out of the block. And the plug that was missing that we found, unfortunately, after we started the car a couple times, wasn't in that bag. So we had no clue it was ever there in the first place. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess what we can do, for the sake of having a little bit of content, we can swap that carb on and start it up and watch our oil pressure, I suppose. And it's gonna be low. I just know it is. So we do have a couple potential ideas that Matt and I talked about over Labor Day weekend. None of them involve this 390 engine, but we wouldn't get rid of this 390. It would just get put on the back burner for now. You know, and maybe start another rebuild on it. But we would like the car to be mobile, you know, with as much time and money as we've put in it to make it mobile. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw some comments down there. Let us know what you think of that oil and what you think of the current situation that's the best thing we can come up with, is that starting this car up, trying to find the oil pressure issue even after putting a new pump in it. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think that would have caused it. Great, yeah, we had cam lube on it, but the amount of times that this car was started, unfortunately, that cam lube probably wore itself off, and there was no, basically the first line of oil after it leaves the pump is up to the cam, and we were not getting it. I don't know. Drop some comments down there. Give us some suggestions. What do you guys think? Do you think this engine's toast? Or do you think it's salvageable? Either way, there's a good chance it's going to have to come out once again and get tore down once again. Go back to a machine shop once again. And it's just a really unfortunate situation. So I guess in the meantime, we'll swap this carb out, see what it does with the other carb. I know a couple of you guys out there wanted to see this Edelbrock get put on here. And I know there's a few more of you that like to see this car on the channel, and we try to as much as we can, but it is nice to work on things other than this particular car. Excuse me, fuzzy girl. Excuse me. And now we're probably at a crossroad. And drop some comments if you can, other than just LS swapping it. We don't really want to LS swap it. I mean, we could. That's kind of what everybody's doing though, you know. This car is unique with a 390 still in it, and we kind of want to keep it unique if we can. I do have a lead on a, I think it's a 425 Cadillac motor out of like a was it like 79 DeVille. It's said to be a fresh build. Don't know. It turns over. Wrong size. You know what's kind of funny is now that I've put a bunch of tools away. If you guys have ever organized and put away a new toolbox, you'll understand. It's kind of a daunting task, especially when things are just scattered everywhere. And you end up with a toolbox that's kind of organized-ish, but could be a lot better. And it makes finding your tools difficult again. But it is such a huge improvement. And you know, over time you just kind of move things around. And of course I forgot to make myself a junk drawer, and normally my junk drawer is up on the top side of the toolbox in one of the small drawers, and I forgot to make it, so it's like way down low now. And so that's probably gonna get moved eventually and relocated. But I kind of emulated how my toolbox at home is set up for the most part anyway. Try not to rip my gasket here. Okay, there's that one. And then actually this plate is gonna stay where it's at. And the Edelbrock will go on top of that. So we'll try to gently remove this base gasket here. Without hurting it, because I don't know if I have another one down here. And I don't know if that's going to be achievable. Maybe. I don't know. Nope, we lost a little piece of it. Kind of pulled up that little bit there. We might be able to make that still work though. Guess we'll see. I think that should work. Let me dig just a little bit and see if I have another gasket. I think I took most of my carb kits home because I rebuilt a fair amount of carbs at the house. I don't know if maybe I threw one down here. I do have gasket paper. That's a thick gasket. Rut-Row Ruby. Alright, we're just gonna try this one, see if we can make it work. Should be okay. We're gonna pull this plug out and hopefully this fits to where I can thread it into this carb so we can use our vacuum ports. The choke, we're probably just gonna have to tape off. And fuel line should be okay. And then hopefully our linkages hook up somewhat close. Look at that, first try. Pop that out of there. Disassembling. That's nice and stripped out. Came out easy, kind of, maybe, question mark. We'll put a little crap on there to seal those up, I reckon. Well, I don't know about you guys or where you live, but it's allergy season here in Iowa. And they have just been, holy smokes, they have been kicking my butt. Holy crap. What the hell did they glue that in there with? Let's take the air filter stud off. Holy cow, that thing was tight. Wow. Probably first time it's been removed for, I don't know, a fair amount of years, I reckon. Okay, take that off. Take this brass fitting off of here. It looks like it's gonna thread right in. Can we be so lucky? Oh baby. Cooking with a grease fire now. ladies and gents. I'll admit it's kind of nice having the top of a toolbox to work off of again. Kind of feels like I'm at work from 20 years ago. Only back then it was never working on a carb. It would have been diagnosing some sort of Mercedes-Benz issue, or Volkswagen, or Audi, or who knows. We'll just kind of eyeball that. Give or take around there. Now hopefully these other items fit. They should. Snug this down. And we'll put a little bit on this guy. You really shouldn't need to do this because these are flared fittings. But they're also very old, and they've probably been off and on a million times. So I don't really know how much I trust that they're going to seal. Let's turn that down just a little bit farther. What do you think? Is this going to work? Is our engine trashed? Are we wasting our time right now? Probably. Probably. All right. I suppose if a guy really wanted to, no, I was gonna say about swapping the choke over, but we'll just leave the electric choke over here. All I'm gonna do is hose this off quick with some carb cleaner. It got kind of dirty sitting around. And then I think we should be good to put it on and see what happens. Okay, well, let's set her on here. Give her the old funk. Make sure it's sitting nice and flat, which it is. I tell you, this little Edelbrock carb, say what you want about them, but it's just a little 600, and it actually came on my big block Impala, and it has always treated me very well. It's always run nice. I've had friends that were having carb problems and wanted to know what to do, and I'd just say, take this Edelbrock over there and throw it on there and see what it does. And they would, and they'd say the thing ran like a top with it on there. So it's been a good little carburetor. I know we did have it on this car, but we had a lot of other issues at the time as well, to where it wasn't running great with it. But that was no fault of the carbs. That was purely our fault. Snug her down. And I'll just grab another piece of hose for the vacuum advanced and run it back. Shouldn't be a big deal. There we go. Let me grab some hose for the vacuum advance and we'll hook that up, and then we'll see if we get lucky with the throttle and kick down. Okay, we got a vacuum line on there, and I'll throw a piece of tape over this choke tube here. That's still gonna suck air through there, guaranteed. But it'll be smaller leak than it is now. Now let's see about this situation. That might work. We'll put a cotter pin in here just to hold it. Yeah, the kickdown is not going to get hooked up, which is fine. We'll get our vacuum hose back on here. And the other one is capped. And we'll put our PCV back on here. Good enough. And the fuel line hopefully will fit if we're super lucky. Oh yeah. Okay, let me grab a flathead. We'll tighten some things up. Start with the most important one, fuel. Snug that down. Snug the vacuum down over here. This one's tight, fuel's tight. We got our return spring on there. We got throttle hooked up. Vacuum advanced hooked up. PCV hooked up. I really think that's about it. I think that's all we need. We've got just the littlest bit of fuel here. We could probably put some in that bowl and this bowl just to help it a little bit, I suppose. Hook our battery up, turn the key on, and my switch is still up here somewhere. There she is. All right, well, here we go, I suppose. See what it does. I don't know if I might need to try to hold the choke closed. Come on, old girl. You thought about it. I don't think it's getting any fuel yet. And I'm out of fuel in my little can here. Well, shoot. I guess we're gonna have to give her a little shot of laughing gas. Until it gets fuel pulled up here. This car does not want to survive. Sorry about the lawnmower running in the background. Come on. Starter's probably gonna get hot soon. Yep, it's getting hot. Let me see what my idle mixtures are set at. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 1/2, 1, 1.5. So we'll go to 2 on this one. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2. She just don't want to run, and I don't have any fuel, and apparently it's still not sucking any from the tank. Okay, well, we got out the suction machine and borrowed some gas from the El Camino, and we're gonna try to fill these bowls up. Maybe have a little better luck, because this thing is just absolutely stubborn all the time. And I'm telling you, it does not want to be rescued. It could care less. Put me back in the field, it says. All right, go for attempt 87. Did it still not pull any freaking fuel? Unbelievable. How does that even make sense? Some days, guys. Some days. Whoa, just spray it all over the freaking engine too. How's it not pull any fuel? Let's go inside and see what it says for oil pressure. I apologize, I don't have a light. 20, about 22, 23. That's 25. sounds good. It doesn't sound bad at all. But that oil looks terrible. I guess we'll let it warm up for a little bit. We can't drive it because we don't have the TV rod hooked up to anything. So kind of let it warm up and then I don't know, adjust the carb a little bit, I guess. And it's obviously pulling fuel finally. It sounds good though. That motor's so quiet that I don't know. I don't see how it could have a problem, like a major problem, running that smooth and quiet. Let us know what you guys think. I don't know. I'll let it run here for a few minutes and then maybe I'll adjust the carb a little bit. I had to turn the idle way up. Maybe that's where it likes it. I'm not exactly sure. But I'll mess with the idle mixture screws a bit, but I'll bring you guys back when I do. And I guess I could really get into it and hook the vacuum gauge and stuff up to it and watch it, but this isn't really for that purpose at the moment. So let me warm it up, I'll come back. Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't seem to hate this carb. That was a real rough dial-in. No vacuum gauge, no timing light, just literally by ear. It probably needs a lot closer tuning than that. But, I mean, it's sitting here running under its own power. Better than it ever did on that other carburetor. Sounds okay. She's got a little bit of blow by. But really, all things considered, it sounds pretty good. Let me grab a flashlight here quick. We'll run in and check that oil pressure again. I don't know. I don't hear anything concerning that. Doesn't mean there's not. It's got an exhaust leak, which you can hear. So it's sitting right about 20 psi right now. And 160, give or take. Coolant temp. Smooth as can be. Let's shut her down. And I guess let's pull the dipstick quick. And see what it looks like. I mean, it's crystal clear. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. Like I said, drop us something in the comments. Give us your thoughts. Paul, you are clearly a pretty intelligent guy. You've been around this stuff forever, it sounds like. Don, any ideas? Scott Rust, any of you guys? Scott Nichols, you guys are all caddy guys, or at least know quite a bit about these. Shoot us something out there. Let us know your thoughts. I don't know. for now it's running a lot better with this carb on it. But that's gonna do it on this one. Just a quick carb swap and possible engine problem. Let's hope not. Disconnect this battery before I forget. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys are new, subscribe. You know, show us a little love. Hit the like button. Drop some comments. We definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate all you guys that have been here for the long haul. It seems like we've been doing this for a while. Be 2 years in November, I think. Woo! So, anyway, that's it for this week. We'll see you in the next one.